Hello class. Today I'm going to teach you guys the proper way that I want you to wash dishes in my class. Alright, so step number 1. Whenever you have a dish that has food or scraps or anything on it, you're going to take it and you're going to knock it into the trash can. Okay? This may involve you wiping things off, but again, make sure all food scraps get into the trash can so that they don't end up in the sink, clogging the sink. All right, that's step number 1. Now, step number 2 is preparing your sponge. So, first thing that you guys want to do is go ahead and wet your sponge. The next thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna put a small bead of soap onto your sponge. I'll then briefly wet it again and rub that soap in. Look how sudsy that is. This should be enough to get most of your dishes done without having to reapply soap. However, if you start to wash a dish and you notice that it's not getting soapy, then you know that you would need to replace your soap. All right, when you go to wash a dish, you're gonna get it wet and you're gonna scrub it down and rinse it. And then you're gonna take it, you're gonna hold it up to the light. You're gonna make sure that it's not glistening or shiny, because that would indicate that it's still greasy. So you wanna make sure that you're doing your dishes properly. After checking to ensure that the dish is washed, you're gonna fully dry it. Don't leave things on the drying rack because they just sit there over time and nobody ever puts them away. So you're gonna dry your dish. You're once again gonna hold it up. Make sure that it's not shiny or shimmery. This plate looks pretty good, so I'm gonna go ahead and go put this away. Now let's talk about washing and drying some specific items. When you are going to dry certain items that have insides and are kind of tough to reach, it's very important that you fully dry them. So again, get that towel in, spin it around, and ensure that anything that has volume, like a cup or like a blender, gets fully dried and put away. Because look what happens when we do not fully dry our dishes. You see how green that is? That is a complete waste of $120 in a blender because somebody put it away without drying it fully. So, very, very important that when we have things with volume, that they get completely dry. And again, that kind of goes for every dish. Alrighty, now let's talk about washing sharp objects. So let's start out with the knife. When you're going to wash your knife, again, just like you would do for any dish, you're gonna get it wet first. And then again, you'll apply your bead of soap onto your sponge, rub it in, get it wet, and again, that little bead of soap should help you get all of your dishes done if you do them correctly. Now for washing a knife, I'm not gonna wash the blade, no, I'm only gonna be washing the sides. So, scrub the sides, run it under water, scrub the other side, run it under water, hold it up, ensure that it's completely clean, then dry it and put it away. Now for washing something like this is obviously a sharp tool, a dangerous tool, so I'm gonna show you how to wash this. Once again, I'm still using that same bead of soap from washing my knife. There's no need to reapply more soap for each dish, especially if your soap is still evidently on your dish, which it is, or on your sponge, sorry, which it is. So for washing your mandolin, I'm gonna scrub the top, I'm gonna scrub the bottom, I'm gonna rinse them, I'm gonna flip it upside down. Notice how that comes down. Again, I'll simply just scrub that side, rinse it, and then I have these toothbrushes. So if you notice that there's any food stuck down here in the middle by the blade, you can simply just take your toothbrush, get it wet, and scrub it out. If you cannot locate a toothbrush, please let me know and I will help you find one. For the mandolin, there's no reason to dry it. That is one of the few tools that you can just let sit and dry on its own. The last sharp tool that we will show how to wash is gonna be your blade. This blade can either be the blade from the food processor or from the blender. So when washing your blade, again, you're gonna run it under water. And now you're just gonna lightly brush the blades with the sponge, up and down, up and down. Run it under water. And you will repeat that process until the blade is totally food or liquid free. This blade looks good. So again, just like I would with my mandolin, I'm just gonna sit this on the drying rack and let it dry. Those are the two items that you can allow to dry without having to put away. Once I've finished my dishes, the next thing that I need to do is ensure that they are all dried and put away. When they are all dried and put away, I'll take my towel and I am just gonna wipe away any excess water or excess liquid on the sides of the sink so that it stays clean. We don't wanna leave a big mess around the sink. I will also go ahead and I will make sure that there's no food in the drain. Would you look at that? And again, we don't want to clog our sinks because then other people can't do dishes. Couple tips before we end the video. Remember, if something is shiny, if it feels oily, then that dish is not done and it needs rewashed. This would be a great example. Do you see the shine in that little streak of liquid? That indicates that the dish is greasy and is not done. The other thing that I don't want to see, applying soap straight to a dish. That is a waste of soap and is an inefficient way to clean dishes. So, soap only goes on the sponge, not directly on the dish. Last thing that I would like to avoid seeing when we are cooking and doing dishes is a big mess of things left in the sink, random gloves and items left around the sink, towels sitting on the counter that are soaked in water, and dishes left on the rack to dry. Those are just not good things. So that is your little dish tutorial. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube. Let's catch Mr. Beast.